very upset about something uh, which is of little consequence, or should we say that it has a bigger impact all my life, but it has not been corrected, or it has not yet impacted me, but I perceive it to be to have impacted my performance. So it is about expression, the way one expresses. Everybody has a style, right, of expressing things, and I have mine. And it is about speak very less when it comes to speaking, but show hugely, largely, and it should say, and it should create a noise. Not only noise, it should create a big impact. So that has been my style. But I have paid very dearly for not speaking, because speaking, that is why the trade of public speaking is so very much in fashion nowadays, because people do work and do the sacrifice, do the hard work, and they also are not recognized because they do not speak. So proper speaking at a place where it really matters is very important. uh, so my point is, expression as one factor of performance optimization has to be there, for appropriately speaking, expressing the concerns, the appreciation, the way forward, the vision, that has to be there. And because it comes with a little bit of passion, people uh, try to underestimate or sideline, because everybody will not understand the other person's perspective, right? So here comes a bit of expectation from the person who is trying to express something. Say, for example, I'm trying to express something with a huge amount of passion. It is for the other person, he cannot see my viewpoint right now. He will see ultimately, of course. So I'll narrate a story why I'm saying all this gyan to you. In 2017, I was doing a project with small MFIs, whose capacity building I was doing, and these people were less than 5 crore up to 200 crores. So there were several category of microfinance institutions who also belong to different legal status, right? So our RBI guidelines has a different kind of guidelines for each kind of uh, entity registered under different legal status, and that is why it depends on their progress and growth as well. But but there were some financial implications, which is why people cannot go for the best. And also there are some social implications, which is why people don't want to go for the best, which is considered to be the best. The best form gets the most funding, but it does very little in terms of the social achievements, social implications, social mandate. So by choice, people choose this or that, and I am supposed to build the capacity of each kind of microfinance institution. So I was handling several kinds. So there, to track, like say, capacity building means what? the various aspect of functioning of that particular institution, whether it is capacity, whether it is governance, whether it is the operations, whether it is the human resources, whether it is technology. All these factors comprise the entire capacity building, right? And it it doesn't have any financial implication. So that is to be noted. Financial implication in the sense that when it comes to funding, the investing agency looks for the financial robustness of that particular institution rather than the other factors. But my point and my organization's point was, unless the institution is robust, otherwise it cannot be financially robust as well. And the circumstances are such that if it is still small, then it has to struggle to get bigger. And the other aspects of strength is normally overlooked. So what I did was I was trying to quantify each parameter. There were say 5 to 6 main parameters. Under that I had created 4 to 5 sub parameters and sub parameters, and the entire thing was about 60 points indicators were there. So nobody can ignore any parameter and qualify to being a robust microfinance institution. So that was part one. And in microfinance industry, what happens is there are two rating and grading happens. And like say people qualify for funding agency, so uh, some smaller agencies, they go for the banking rating, which is a standard rating for every kind of funding. So that is a small ticket rating is done, and everybody does that. But for the mainstream, bigger funding, it has to be something else. Some other rating is applied. So it is the work of the rating agencies which are there, identified by RBI, and those are done annually. So it has a cost, and it goes into crores at times. The smallest lakhs easily, and crores occasionally. So that is also a huge investment in just rating or grading. It doesn't has have any financial financial implication as well, unless we are considering about the investment. So no direct financial implication. So then, based on that, we approached some banks. We created a BC grading tool. uh, Banks should collaborate with some of the microfinance institutions, wherein the portfolio will not go to the books of the microfinance institutions. It will be separately dealt with, mm, dealt by the banking institutions, but the entire responsibility of disbursing and collection will be with the microfinance institutions. So that was the second arrangement for which we did a grading tool based on the first thing that I did. Then the third thing I did was a financial parameter entirely. So why and how people should, how much debt they should go for. It cannot be like say endless debt. Somebody cannot take endless debt. It has to um, be based on some kind of equity, some kind of net worth, and all those things. What we call as return on investment, return on assets, things like that. ROI, ROA. So those kind of financial parameters, and it was a model, uh, something like that we had developed, because we were also doing business plan for all these MFIs, um, wherein we were calculating what percentage of its portfolio should go into this BC, which will not be which will be a managed portfolio, and what percentage will go to the debt funding, and what percentage should be under equity. So the more the equity, the more it will be eligible for debt. And BC is an entirely another ball game. So that three kinds of mechanism I helped build. It was in 2017, but I never spoke about this. And even if I would have spoken, nobody was there to understand it because it was just within me, and nobody else was interested in this particular thing. So I didn't explain it to others. Only thing I was just keeping it with myself, and was tracking the progress of these institutions. I had about 18 institutions whose capacity building I was doing, and the tools were also with me. Today itself, there was a discussion happening for funding. Because of the COVID scenario, the bigger MFIs are taking away all the funding availability, whatever funding is there. And the smaller ones, because of the higher risk involved, because people will take money and they will not be in a position to return it back. So the smaller institutions are not able to source this kind of funding. Then what? Um, so somebody was proposing it has to be a model. So we can bring in all the smaller MFIs together, and we'll pull the resources, and there will be a mathematical model as to how we will manage all these MFIs and the indicators that we'll be developing. So somebody was saying that because initially there is no funding for it, we have to source funding by selling the entire model. Initially it will be huge work, and we should not invest our time because it is a small team, and it is time intensive and cost intensive as well. So nobody was agreeing to that. So then I pasted saying that we already have so many capacity building projects going on. So inside that capacity building, we can also include fundraising, resilient building, like say rating, grading regularly, code of conduct, all that, all that we can bring in, we can integrate into the thing, and then it will save the effort from starting afresh. And the as far as the mathematical model is there goes, like say I have three models already, so people can take a look and design the next model based on that. So it will not take that much of time as the first time effort would have taken. So that was something, and that actually cleansed the discussion, cleansed the argument in the favor of going for the innovation, right? So it was something I did 3 years back, and I never got an opportunity to speak about it. There were two reasons: because people were not able to grasp what I was doing, because I I kind of always think something. Each of us thinks something which the other person or majority of people will not be able to understand. And since we cannot explain about it to other people, so we cannot uh, see the benefit of such an innovation. So we just give up halfway. But I persisted somehow because I love numbers, and so I designed it fully. And today it is of use, right, of value, and it is adding huge value. And our branding is happening because of that. We are winning an award also. Today the news came that our organization is going to win an award on financial inclusion based on our effort. And I have been known for um, somebody who is sympathetic to the smaller organization, obviously, because they do the lot of work, but they don't have the strength to stand up for their right as well as the uh, financial standing. So I am there to support them. So that is the branding happening in the organization as well. The organization also is branded like that right now. We are a community development finance institution. We are not just a microfinance institutions association, but we are an association of all the institutions those are engaged in community development work. So what an unique kind of branding that we are having. And it all started with my vision. I can proudly say that I didn't express about it. Nobody actually um, lauded my effort that time or till today, but they could see that I have certain kind of passion and I go along my passion. So whether expression is superior to passion is the question of the day. Of course not. Of course it needs expression, like say when it comes, if you are kind of hiding something just because the other person will get to know about it and take it away from you, then it is a, of course a negative thing, and there this balancing has to happen. But just to express without having enough to show for, flaunt for, is useless, right? And of course I agree that I take a lot of time to express, to come about it, but I also wait for the right opportunity, right? Unless I say I have that opportunity, I it is useless to tell. That is what has been my experience also. Also I tell that one should create opportunity. That is another skill also, to create opportunity. I can say, what we can say is, while innovating something, one should also keep in mind about the opportunity that it can bring. So these both the things, and keep on saying whether the opportunity is already there or not. Whatever opportunity one is trying to say, one is trying to see, and one is trying to get, all those needs to be verbalized and to be expressed, and to be told to people around. People should know that what you are into, what you are working on, even if they don't understand the nitty gritty of whatever you are saying, but they should know that you are very passionate about something, whatever you are working on. So that is a huge learning of today mine. And I got that opportunity in the day, with certain kind of interaction with other friends, that I got this subject, and I'm very grateful to the universe that I'm able to share it with you also. And it is so very profound and so very enriching. And I thank you, thank you so much for listening to it. And if you are there, and if you are the person who has told me something related to it, I'm grateful to you, and who has caused this subject to go inside me, and be it to be, has become like this to be expressed. I'm grateful to that person also, and I'm so grateful to the universe that this thing has happened. And when I am expressing this, I'm also feeling uh, the 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 feeling inside